Earnings All-Stars are back again. This is the big week of the Mag 7 earnings brigade. It starts with Tesla. We're going to have Microsoft. We're going to have Apple and Meta platforms. But I'm not covering them on this video because you can find content about which of the Mag 7s you should be tracking, their earnings charts, all over Zacks.com. Go there and read our articles. But for this video, I'm going to focus on something else that's also in the spotlight this week. 5 of these companies that are reporting have not missed on earnings in 5 years. They are true earnings all-stars. They are perfect. That hasn't been easy to do. It's pretty rare now to find these perfect earnings reports, but I ran across a couple as I was preparing for this podcast and decided, you know what? I bet there are at least 5 in this group this week. And there are. Now, none of these are the Mag 7s because while they have pretty good earnings surprise track records these days, they all have at least one miss in the last 5 years, including Apple. Apple has been known to go for years without any misses, but it too even has a miss now. So they're not included in this video. But what is, I'm going to dive in right now. Okay, so the first one I'm going to bring up is Danaher. It's ticker DHR, and it is the Zacks number 4 rank right now. But remember, a lot of the ranks change right before the earnings report as the old estimates fall off the computer model, and then it gets a number 4. It's a weird little quirk in the system, but you can also see on this price consensus and surprise chart a little bit of a decline here in the earnings outlook here on the consensus side. So that might be getting us to number 4. But as you can see, look at all the green arrows that are spread across the 5 years, including the pandemic years. Danaher is the life sciences and diagnostics company. It was in big demand during the pandemic, and you can see the new all-time highs there. Then we had the big sell-off 2022, and even into 2023, it's tried to recover some, but not all the way back. Over the last year, it's up just 5.9%. Hasn't gotten any cheaper on a PE basis. I don't know. Let's see. We can scroll down and see the PE. It's trading at 29 times. That's not too expensive for a stock like Danaher, but it's not a value either, which is, a PE of under 15, or if in this more expensive market, I would consider something under 20 to be pretty attractive as well. But Danaher, no misses. What will it do this quarter? We will see. Then we're going to switch over to one of the other hot tech names that is reporting this week out of the Mag 7, but it's an AI play, and it even calls itself that. It calls itself the AI platform for business transformation, and it's ServiceNow, ticker NOW. And I wanted to bring up the price consensus and surprise because, again, it has beat every quarter, so we're not as concerned with what the surprise chart looks like. But look at this earnings consensus chart up and to the right, very consistent, very nice growth. This is what you want. So this is not only an earnings all-stars, it's also a price consensus all-stars. So it's a combination of my 2 favorite charts. This is what you want it to look like. Now, the shares are trading near those all-time highs there. It's not cheap. It's trading at 68 times forward earnings, even with this earnings growth. But the question is, with a lot of these AI stocks, what are you willing to pay for this earnings growth? And right now, apparently a lot. So ServiceNow, will it beat again? Will it give a bullish outlook, even with this new DeepSeek thing going on out of China? We will see. This is ServiceNow, ticker NOW. But it just gets better because I've brought you the stock I bring every quarter that has not missed since 2008, since it went public. Visa, ticker V. And look at this chart as well. Also a beauty. Obviously, no misses in the last 5 years because it hasn't missed in 17 years. And that's the longest streak on the S&P 500. Very difficult to do for any company, but they keep doing it. And then look at that price and consensus, the big up and to the right, consistent earnings growth, 10 to 14% a year, give or take. That's about what it's been doing. What's the valuation like? Back in 2021, I was complaining a lot about the valuation on Visa and MasterCard, trading around 40 times back then. It was hitting new all-time highs. Well, it's back to those new all-time highs, but now trading around 29 times. So I do consider this to be a much more attractive buy here, even just based on valuation. So Visa, I'm going to be watching it. It's going to get overshadowed by the Mag 7 stocks reporting on the same day. But those of us in the know will be tuning in. Visa, ticker V. Then we're going to switch over to big cap pharma with Abbvie, ticker ABBV. And I own this in the Zacks Value Investor portfolio. I also own it in my own personal portfolio and have for several years. But look at this, all green again, of course, going back even through the pandemic. And this chart for the price and consensus is not quite as clean as what you saw on the others. But look at 2025, 2026, still expecting to see big earnings growth. That's this light blue line and this tan line here. What was going on with some of these other years? Well, Humira, their big drug, finally came off of the patent protection and sales have been on the sharp decline ever since. However, they have been working for years to get replacements for Humira. Hard to do, but Skyrizi and Rinvo are two that are breaking out. They also have Botox and Juvederm on the sides. Those have been a little bit on the quieter side, but the company does see that ramping up in the next 4 years as well. So I'm liking Abbvie here. I do think they might see another beat here. We'll see, and we'll see what else they're going to tell us because they already have given us a lot of information at a big drug industry conference in San Francisco not that long ago here in 2025. This one pays a big dividend, yielding 3.85% now, almost 4%. That's why a lot of income investors like it. But I'll be watching Abbvie, see what else they have to say. Ticker ABBV as in Victor. That's a tongue twister. ABBV. Okay, then we're going to wrap it up. I had a few choices with what I was going to pick for the final stock. There was a home builder that's reporting this week, Meritage, I think it was, that also had perfect, but I thought I'd stay away from the home builders and go with Colgate-Palmolive, ticker CL. This one everyone knows because we've all used Colgate or Palmolive products. And they also make soft soap, Ajax, Tom's of Maine, a bunch of other products that we all know, both for humans and their pets is what their tagline says. And it too has a perfect earnings surprise record. And this is an interesting one because the shares were very static. After the initial start of the pandemic, they went nowhere for several years, but finally had a big breakout in 2024, but's given back a bunch of it here. And it is up only about 8% in the last year. These shares, you can see the price to consensus is looking a lot better here, up and to the right, and some very nice growth expected over the next 2 years if we get it. Valuation, not that cheap anymore. So maybe that's why part of the sell-off, because it got a little bit too pricey, perhaps trading with a PE of 23. It does have a dividend. You can see it over here yielding about 2.3% now at these the share price. So Colgate-Palmolive, an interesting one to keep an eye on as well, reporting at the very end of the week, along with some other great big cap names like Exxon and Chevron. So this is a busy week. I'm going to be tweeting out a lot of these charts as well on all these stocks. So be sure to get them on Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky. I'll be posting on StockTwits, all of these platforms, and be sure to check those Mag 7 charts. You can just check them yourself here on the Zacks.com website, or just go to Zacks.com and check out all of our content on Mag 7 earnings. And I'll be tuning in and tweeting out as well, live tweets during those earnings reports. So a lot going on. You don't want to miss a single episode of the Earnings All-Stars. I'm bringing them to you every week during earnings season. And I will be back next week with some more charts.